Mr. Jeb Brown, Tony
Hi.
nominee.
Oh my goodness.
You used to that now?
Not quite yet, man. I'm just like marinating in gratitude right now. It's nice.
So you look like you're having fun over there at the Long Acre and Dead
my
Outlaw.
goodness. It's a romp. It's it's doozy of a story.
You don't play the Dead Outlaw.
I don't.
You get to play, what's the name of this guy?
Well, we call him the band leader.
Band leader.
Yeah. But I also step in and play the Outlaw's mentor.
Right. But the band leader is like, it feels like it's just like custom made for you, this part. And you're so great with audiences. I mean, you're really narrating the show. Was it custom made for you? Does it feel like it was custom made for you? Did you think like, God, this part is gonna be perfect for me?
I was lucky because I think by the time they got to putting this thing on its feet and making it a piece of theater, the band leader was the last piece to fall into place. They didn't really know exactly what they wanted to do. So when they decided to give me a go, I was able to get in there and build it with them. Is it custom made? No. Itamar wrote most of it before I was on board, but as he rewrites, he's thinking of me, and that's nice.
You've done so many shows. I mean, you've done shows on Broadway, off Broadway. I've seen you fantastic on TV. How do you describe your career to people?
You know, I do always have to say that it's theater based. It's always I spent my 20s in LA kind of checking out that turf.
Yeah.
And after 8 years, I realized I kept checking my watch and wondering when I was going to get home. So at around age 30, I came home and dug into theater. And that doesn't mean just New York theater. It means all these great theaters across the country that draw their hires from New York a lot of times.
That's why I think of you as like a real part of this industry and this community. And a lot of times guys like you don't find a moment like you're having right now. Right? I mean, to actually find a role that fits like a glove and a show everybody loves, and then you get the Tony nomination. So when you have one of these moments, like, where's your head at about that?
No, you're right on with all of that. For me, this experience is like a slideshow. It's sort of a this is your life. It becomes about thinking about long ago opportunities. You know, it's been 5 decades. Long ago mentors and teachers, and suddenly it just shines a light on all of that for you. So not only do you get to talk about it with other people, but it's just the very morning that I saw that I was nominated. Those are the first kinds of things that came to my mind. With just a history of what it has led to this.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff, a lot of work, a lot of fun.
You started really young in theater.
We were a theater-going family. My mother took me to my first show when I was 6 because she couldn't get a babysitter and she had a second ticket. And so she got me a big box of chocolates, and I never opened those chocolates. It was Applause with Lauren Bacall, and it was at the Palace Theater, which I later played. That was fun.
Wow.
And I just, I couldn't believe it. Here I was surrounded by these adults, very nicely, dressed and all well-heeled in those days. People put themselves together still for the theater. And there was just something so remarkable sitting shoulder to shoulder with strangers and enjoying this live event. I don't think it ever left me. That first one was just, that was the gateway. I went home and started creating theater in my living room. Some lucky relatives and babysitters and people were my first audiences. You'd start with the record of whatever the latest show was that you saw, and maybe it was a little lip syncing, maybe it was a little, some actual live singing. But I tell you, I worked on these things. These things were well rehearsed, and then when my sister was of age, she became my supporting cast.
Nice.
And then some neighborhood children got involved. And then I was 10 years old when I wound up at the American Shakespeare Theater in Stratford, Connecticut with Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. At the end of that summer, it turned out the producers were taking it to Broadway, and they asked my parents if they thought that was fun as an idea, and they did. So we did 9 or 10 months on Broadway.
You seem like you grew up like on a ranch in the South, or
that's the Jeb,
Kentucky.
The Jeb of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you don't really get like Greenwich, Connecticut from you. So what is that? What is that?
My father was from Virginia, and also raised partly in St. Louis. So Midwest, South, there's a lot of that on that side of the family. So I heard these voices, and I hung in these states, in these towns, on these farms when I was growing up. So that's in there. And when you do grow up as a Jeb, you can't help but lean a little Southern.
You must be the first Jeb Tony nominee. I didn't look that up yet.
That's a nice
Have to be. Let's just assume you are.
Let's
the first
say that
Jeb.
I am the very first Jeb to be nominated for a Tony. I'll take it.